Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Behringer. And today I have a small layout update for you, and without further ado we'll get on with it. And there's also some minor changes to the layout, which I'll also show you. So the first thing I've been doing is I've started doing a bit of weathering to the track, and this is using the Rail Match Sleeper Grime. Now, those of you who haven't been with the layout long, or haven't been viewing very long, just a quick recap: I don't actually own a airbrush at all, so this weathering is done completely by hand. Now, if you can see what I've attempted to do. I'll show you the unweathered state. So that's the unweathered state there. So what I've decided to do is I've just started just doing it by hand, just lightly brushing over with some Rail Match Sleeper Grime, and just stretching it out to dilute it and thin it out as best I can so it doesn't look overly done. I've just gone over the AWS ramps as well, just give them a light sort of going over, just to sort of make it out like they've been used. And that runs all the way down. I've also just cleaned the rails, and that's why they probably look a bit shiny on here. The actual rail tops themselves I've gone over and cleaned them straight away, just so the paint doesn't dry on them, and basically stop the trains from running correctly and properly. So I've done that all the way along here, and that leads on to one of the changes I've made to the layout. And basically I've taken away the fueling point, and now it's just two long carriage sidings, well, two carriage sidings which can accommodate two coach DMUs or coaches or wagons or whatever. So I decided to take that out because I always felt when I put it in that it was a little bit cramped. So what I've decided to do is just take it out and just leave it as two carriage sidings, and I'll probably end up putting that at fueling points somewhere else. What I've been doing is just putting some more tufts of grass, blending it in, put some just more foliage. We've also done some Sleeper Grime work along here, so just weathered the track here as well slightly, just to tone it down. I've got some rocks that I've put in that I had left over. I haven't actually got around to painting those yet, but I'm just going to paint those up and weather those in and just blend them in. Then there's just a couple of bits of little foliage here just sticking up out of the ground, just bits and pieces just coming up, just to give it that kind of bit more of an overgrown feel of it. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. It's nothing major, but it is actually quite a bit of an improvement, just because, like I said before, I always felt that with the fueling station it did look a bit cramped and it didn't seem to sit right. So I just thought it would just look a little bit more natural and a bit more blended in doing it this way, and I will probably end up putting that fueling point when I make some other changes to the layout, but that won't be for a little while yet. So I'm pretty pleased with the weathering that I've done so far. I haven't done the branch line or anything like that, and that will eventually be something that I'll be doing soon to incorporate it all and to blend it all in, and I'm really pleased with it actually. I really like the colour of it. I mean, if I just sort of go from an overall kind of view, you can sort of see it's got that tinge to it, whereas on this side it looks clean. So I do like it, and it does enhance the layout, to be honest with you. I was a bit worried about doing it because I don't have an airbrush, so it is something that I was kind of worried about going a bit too heavy with. I originally decided to dilute, and what it is, it's got this Sleeper Grime here, Rail Match Sleeper Grime. I don't know if it shows up or not, probably not. But anyway, it's Sleep Alarm by Lomax, and I was using it with a syringe, and I originally diluted it, but it soaked in really well, and it did go in, and it gave a slight hint, but it didn't give too much of a hint. So what I ended up doing is I ended up not painting it completely directly through the Sleep Alarm, but I did add a little touch of water, so the thickness was still there. It just meant that it just didn't stick, as in one big thick lump on the actual sleepers, and then after it gets thinned out as it goes along. So by just adding that little bit of water, it stretched the paint, and it just enabled you to mix it better and blend it in better onto the track. Well, that's what I found anyway, and to be honest with you, it's probably what I'm going to be doing when I do those two, because I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to. I did say in a previous video that I wasn't sure that I'd like to blend it, but I needed to find a good solution to try and weather it. Because if I just show you, actually, sorry about this, my first attempt at weathering, which was kind of this one here. To me, it just didn't seem to look right. I didn't like the technique that I used, and I kind of experimented on this bit, but I can still blend this in, and it was, once I do the rest of the ballasting along here, it will be alright. But like I said, this was my first attempt. But when I look at this part here, you just see it just looks too clean. I mean, although the ballasting looks good, it just looks a bit too clean. So that's why I just wanted to attempt to do some weathering and blend it in a little bit better. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment and subscribe as always, and I'll speak to you when I have more to tell you. So bye for now.